Hi community of awesome, I'm Ava J and this is Bookish Pixie. So, new week, new question to answer. This particular question was pretty long, so I'm just gonna sum it up. So this particular person was interested in writing a series but has been dealing with a lot of doubts about whether or not they were ready to do so. So their question was, because I debuted with the trilogy, whether or not I ever worried that maybe I wasn't ready to write a series or if I just dove right in confidently. So this is very much going to be about my personal experience here. So I've mentioned this before, but even though Beyond the Red is the first book of mine that got published, it was not the first book that I ever wrote. It was actually the 10th book that I wrote. So I want to put that context into my answer because at the point that I was writing Beyond the Red, I'd actually had a lot of practice writing standalones. In fact, up until that point, I'd only written standalones besides one novel. And up until that point, I'd only written standalone novels, not because I wasn't interested in writing series, because I totally was, but because I knew that even in series writings, your first book needs to be able to stand alone. So when I wrote Beyond the Red, I wrote it wanting to continue the series. That was always what I wanted to do with this story, but also hyper aware of the fact that I might not be able to. So when Beyond the Red sold, it sold as one novel. And for a long time, I didn't know whether I'd be able to continue this series, and I so desperately wanted to because I knew there was more to the story. So when the time came for me to write the proposal package for books 2 and 3, I was absolutely ready to go. And when my publisher told me, yeah, we'd love to publish these books, I was like, great, awesome news. Now I have to write them. So I think that's when I had my moment of, oh, wait a minute, was after my publisher was like, yeah, we'll publish this. And I was like, awesome, now I have to finish a trilogy when I've never finished a series before. So when I wrote book 2, Into the Black, that book actually was super easy. It was the easiest book I've ever written, and that is really unusual for a sophomore novel, but honestly, that story had been living in me literally for years and it was dying to get out. Book 3, The Rising Gold, however, entirely different story. Book 3 was when I really felt the pressure of, oh, I'm writing a trilogy, because I had to wrap everything up and that was really hard. I struggled a lot with The Rising Gold and I'm really happy with the way it turned out in the end, but that's really where those doubts kicked in. But I mean, I was committed at that point, and also I really wanted to finish the story, so my motivation to finish outweighed my terror of I'm writing a trilogy. So here's the thing. When it comes to writing a series yourself, only you can really answer whether you're ready to go for it. But I think the main thing to remember is when you're writing a series, every book in that series really does have to be able to stand alone with a full plot arc, and that's a thing that a lot of writers forget. But whether you personally are ready to commit to a series, I can't tell you. I think the main thing that helped me was to concentrate on each book one at a time and consider them these separate tasks so that it never felt like this monumental thing that it actually was. So if you want to try it, go for it. I think there's no harm in trying, but if you aren't sure whether or not you're ready, only you can really find that out. So that's what I got for today. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys next week.